Test. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, and welcome to the Hockenheimring. We've arrived here in the southern German state of Baden-Württemberg, and please give me my cookie already for the Baden-Württemberg Grand Prix. I'm your commentator, Robert Ionescu, and just like yesterday, I'm joined by a two-time OC winner, two-time OC champion, Joseph Willows. Hello there, Joe.
I'm not going to attempt to pronounce it because,
Yeah. All right, no worries.
So anyway, hello everybody. We're here for the race here at Hockenheim, and hopefully it should be quite an interesting one.
Yeah, let's hope so too. Yesterday was a quite entertaining qualifying session. In the end of it all, Ruslan Protsuk took pole position. So let's jump to the grid then, shall we?
Yep, indeed.
Alrighty then. Well, here we have it. It's Ruslan Protsiuk on pole. Santino Andreoli is in second, joining him on the front row in only his second race. Alex Broster, who topped both days of testing but was nowhere at the Nürburgring, has found his mojo again at Hockenheim and will be starting P3 with Max Skillen in P4, hoping to make up for the bad luck he had the last time.
Min Nguyen starts in 5th position, hoping to not T-bone anyone, with Mohamed Usman Hamed in 6th. Then it is Luca Farina, the early championship leader, who starts in 7th, with Joel Watterson in 8th.
Yep, Lorenzo Tomaselli is in P9, not the greatest qualifying session he's ever had, with Wojtek Kulasec running out the top 10. Ben Zwalinger is in P11, the man who finished second last season, almost came close to victory here, with his former teammate Aaron Curtis 12th. Speaking of teammates,
then we have the two uni virtuoses on the same row, with Rahul Patel in 13th and Jesus Perenin in 14th. And then we have Gabriel Quintino, who's going to start in 15th for Campos, with Adam Chobot in 16th for High Tech.
Yep, that's right. Nicholas Zorbach on his home turf is only P17. Henry Watzel, who won here in dominant fashion, leading every single lap 2 years ago, is only P18, and the grid have to make up a lot of ground. And we have the two Charuzzi of Josek Frederick Suto and Kyle Burns.
Then on the back row of the grid, we have Hento Sinanen for Carlin, and the home favourite, Dennis Graff, only in 22nd and last for Dams. A lot of work to do for him.
Yep, indeed. And now then, before we look at the weather, I want to ask you, Joe, what are your thoughts on this track? Because my personal opinion is it's a track I appreciate quite much. Also because it is where I took my last win in the top class. And considering I haven't been in the top class for a long while, it appears it will remain my last win.
Well, it's 10 times better than Zandvoort, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a fantastic track. It usually produces quite a lot of overtaking for both GP2 and the top class, so hopefully should be the same for this one.
Yeah, absolutely. Now then it's time to jump to the weather. And it's going to be a bone dry race. But before we get going, I want to seriously... Flo, can you keep it paused because we wanted to do the minute silence.
I think Flo may have forgotten about that part, so yeah.
We're just gonna pause for 1 minute when we get to the grid. Is that all right? Yeah. Can you keep it paused, Flo?
Okay.
All right,
sorry.
it's paused. So, considering Sir Frank Williams, the founder of the Williams team, passed away yesterday at the age of 79, I believe, we're going to hold a minute of silence in his honor. He was a great man who helped the sport quite a lot, and his life was he had a wonderful life, and he will be deeply missed. So, in 5 seconds, I'm going to begin the minute silence. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you for observing the minute silence with us. And may Sir Frank Williams rest in peace. In his honor today, we'll be racing for him. So let's get it going, shall we?
Indeed. Here we go.
Alrighty then. Brodsuk is on the right of the screen, and Goli on the left. 40 laps of action in front of the drivers. Who's gonna get into turn 1 first? It looks to be advantage Brodsuk, but we'll see as we got 5 red lights. And now we're underway. Race 2 has officially begun. It's an alright start for Prozik. I think Antigoli could try to get a jump on him into turn 1. Let's see if he can do it. No, he can't.
Prozik able to get away very well, though he's under pressure from, I believe, that Rosa behind. But so far, it seems that everybody's kept it relatively clean into the first corner. But let's see if they can keep it up into turn 2.
I think Nguyen's jumped up into third. As Walliger's been taken out. Oh, big shot there at turn 3. He's already out this race, but who has he collided with? I think it's Zorbach.
That one, the home favourites, has caused the incident, so the German fans are not going to be happy with that one.
No, definitely not. Nicholas Zorbach, I think this one, I'm sorry, but it's entirely on him. It happens at the start, though. But yeah, sadly, there wasn't much Wagner could do to avoid being caught up in this innocent passenger, I think. Let's look at Curtis's POV.
Oh, look then, so you can see it from the rear view. There is Valdinger on the right hand side, and you can just see there, look, Zorbach just leaving his braking far too late in, and ends up hitting the back of Valdinger as a result, and Valdinger is the first retirement of the day.
Yep, indeed. Unfortunately, he won't be able to get back the win he lost here last season. But let's take a look at Androli's start, because he was in front of Protic heading into turn 1. But he didn't have the confidence, he didn't have the grip there to go for the inside. Protic was able to get back past and pull away massively.
And Broster looked like he lost a place as well, as Zorbach will make his way back to the pits now then, as he's going to drop down to the back of the field now then, as we make our way down towards the hairpin.
Yep, indeed. Looks like we got Skim making a move on Farina here, and he's pulled it off.
Indeed, can everybody keep it tidy through into the hairpin now then? And yep, everybody's kept it tidy for the hairpin, so all the 20 cars that don't have damage, they're still able to keep going for now. But at the front, it is still Proxy who's leading the race by nearly a second ahead of Andrioli.
Yep, indeed. Meanwhile, Joseph Ferrer-Suto keeping his teammate behind. There's some close racing here between the two of them. Burns tried to go for the outside pass, but wasn't going to happen. But look here into Mobile 1. Farina attacks Skillen. He can't get through on him, though.
And I was right earlier, Nguyen did get ahead of Broster at the start, and he's now all over the back of Andrioli as a result.
Yeah, he did.
Back of the second place going on.
Protic leads the field by 1.2 seconds as we complete lap 1, but Home Nguyen is pushing very hard, eager to get P2. Let's see if he can do it. Protic says the early fastest lap before Nguyen takes it away. Nguyen attacks into turn 1, Andrioli goes wide. He got his wheel on that, all 4 wheels on the curb though, but he's kept the position. Someone else who's made a mistake though is Max Gillen.
Skillen made a mistake at the exit of turn 1 there. Ignore the marshals, guys. The yellow flags are not there, as you can see.
Take a look at this. Trouble going for the move. Patel's been tapped from behind by the Trident meanwhile. And that was very interesting racing there. As now Broster's back in third. But watch for Hamid. He's going to go for the move as well. It's going to be 3 wide. And Nguyen versus Hamid versus Broster. Who's going to prevail in this? Hamid sends it down the inside. And he's back to the podium places.
They're losing 2 places there in the space of a few seconds, but brilliant double overtake there from Mohammed Usman Hamid, now up into 3rd position. It's now 1-3 for MP Motorsport.
Yep, indeed. Zorbach, meanwhile, has rejoined from the pits following his impromptu pit stop. But I need to take a look at Rahul Patel here. He's behind Aaron Curtis, and he's going to try to attack. No, Curtis shuts the door off. Bernian tries to go for a move on Watson, but he can't pull it off either.
Nguyen now trying to attack Hamid now then after the double overtake that the Indonesian pulled, but Nguyen doesn't like that at all and wants to get back at him. All of this is allowing Andrioli to get away as a result. There's a lock up there for Watson.
Yep, indeed. Nguyen and Hamid did battle at Nürburgring before, and there's a lockup for Perignan heading to Zags. That's costly. Protic with another fastest lap. He's pulling away.
Meanwhile, Nguyen trying to have a go at Hamid into the first corner.
Ooh, very close to contact there, but Hamid goes wide. Nguyen's taking the place.
And here comes Farina as well.
Yep, indeed. Farina's got past Hamid. He's going to need to be careful not to run into the back of Broster, and he doesn't. Let's watch Patel, though. He's attacking. Curtis, he touched him!
We got a yellow flag. We got a yellow flag at the second to last corner, I believe.
Has to be. It's not for Zorbach, it was for whoever was in P20. It's for Tomaselli who's out of this race. What's happened to him? I think
mechanical failure.
Yeah, transmission problem. The gearbox gave up on him.
Well, as there's still defending going on, is now Choba on the inside, gets up into 9th position. Both high-techs now in the top 10.
Yep, indeed so. As now look at this, Quintino going for the move. On Dennis Graffi's got him, about for 16th.
But we're already down to 20 runners now as a result of Tomaselli's transmission problem. So bit of a shame there for the Italian.
Yep, indeed. And there's the end of his race.
See how when he got the issue then.
He was running 9th, and yeah, it's come to an early end, his race, I'm afraid.
And it happened just at the second to last corner, in fact. And obviously he didn't get the pit symbol because it was 2-terminal.
Yep, indeed. Happened also suddenly.
And, well, that's a shame for Lorenzo Tomaselli, who was, you have to say, very unlucky last season. But
Yeah, definitely so. In
there's
any
all that
case,
gains of place as a result of that.
yep. Now then, we're going to look at Ruslan Protsiuk. No, we're not looking at him anymore. We're looking at Jesus Perinain towards Mobile One. He's going to try to attack Watt, so let's see if he can pull it off. No, he couldn't.
Also just able to fend him off for the moment at this point in time. Heading down towards the banked hairpin now then.
Yep, indeed.
Protsiuk and now Andrioli sets the fastest lap. Andrioli trying to see if he can try and chase down Protsiuk if he can. As meanwhile Farina on the inside of Brewster.
This is going to be bold. And it's made a typical turn 1 mistake. He's going to be under threat of losing the position to Hamid behind. Let's see if the Indonesian can take advantage. Or if Joe Larson can.
Well.
Can he go for a triple overtake? No, he goes for just the one.
Is still with Brewster at the moment, but I think Brewster may have just been able to hold on to the place.
Take a look at this. Here goes Graf. Starting in last, is regaining place. He's got back past Quintino. As meanwhile, Brewster is being hounded down by these guys. Farina's on the inside. Warson is right behind him. Hamid is losing the position to Skillen, meanwhile. Here goes Farina, the championship leader. Look at this dive from Skillen! Ooh, that was brutal. He's hit Warson and taken him out completely. Skillen has damage.
Now it's a bit of a traffic jam as a result, as everybody's trying to get around the stranded Watterson.
Yep, indeed. It reminds me of Nguyen's dive about the previous race, and Perinain is coming to a stop there. So is Quintino.
It's Gabriel Quintino. It looks like they're both stuck at the moment because of Watterson. And, well, they've cost each other a lot of time as a result.
Yeah, indeed. I'm afraid there were innocent passengers in that one, but I need to take a look at what happened again, because that was extremely audacious from Skillen. Zorbag manages to avoid Warson in the meantime. But I've never seen a crash like that at this corner.
I have seen a couple of occasions in GP2 where that's happened, but yeah, it's quite that was one that came out of nowhere, really, to be honest with you. Skillen tried to have a go at the inside of Hamid there and just left his braking far too late.
Can we check his speeds again? It doesn't even feel like he went on the brakes. Well, he did, but still. That was just really, really clumsy from him.
Yeah, indeed, and Farina and Brewster were still side by side of the corner, but Brewster was able to hold on as a result. But 3 retirements now in 4 laps.
Yeah, indeed. What's going on? Has the game crashed or something?
Sure. And the game's crashed. Luckily, we have auto save, so don't worry about that.
Yeah.
So let's just wait for the autosave to come back then. So yeah, the game's crashed. Luckily we have autosave, so we should see that crash happen again, unfortunately. So
yeah, I'm afraid so.
Flo may have gone a little bit too quick with his keyboards there, but I don't know. Need to dry my throat anyway, so that the game crashing kind of saved me bacon there.
Yeah, I guess so. In any case, we should be able to get back very shortly.
Just getting the autosave up, whatever it is. We were on lap. It was lap 4, wasn't it? This lap, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what it is.
I believe it was lap 4. I think so. Yeah. So let's go back then, and obviously we should see the crash happen again. Unfortunately, so that then, really, guys. As Flo will attempt to get rid of all the whites that are around the.
By the way,
which I believe he has.
You're doing all right, Joe. Yeah, because you don't seem that enthusiastic today. I hope you're doing
okay.
I'm all right.
I'm all right. Well, I obviously commentated a little bit earlier on, so my voice is obviously just a bit throw out a bit, but I'm all right.
All right, that's good to hear. As now Farina is right behind Alex Broster. These guys have the pack has been spread out a little bit as a result of that, and we have 19 cars in the running. And something's happened to Graf. He's lost his rear wing somewhere.
Well, it might have been during that pileup, because we're at the bit now where the crash happened. And
it was a separate crash.
It happened when the pileup happened. They were all trying to avoid each other, and well, Burns left his braking far too late, and Graf and Burns have had to make a trip to the pits as a result.
Yep, indeed.
We're live on YouTube, Flo. You swear.
Oh, man.
Anyway, maybe don't try and look at a replay far too often at that corner, perhaps.
Also, happy birthday to Rahul's sister, because he mentioned it in the chat.
Right.
Anyway, we'll be hoping it doesn't crash again.
I don't think we'll have to view a replay this time, so
no.
let's do that then. I think we've seen
I
enough
don't.
replays anyway. We know what's happened. So Burns and
Yeah,
Graf have had wing damage. So
I don't think we'll have to restart this race, thankfully. So
we've got
we can keep going.
autosave. So
Yeah, indeed. All
anyway,
right, and
so
Prozio continuing to lead, not by 318 seconds, but by a lot less to Angioli. Broster, meanwhile, trying to hold off Farina in battle for fourth. Farina not going for it in turn one. He's being the wise man, waiting to see if he can try something into turn three with the dive bomb. Here he goes.
Coming to the pits now to repair the damage as everybody goes through there.
Yeah, indeed. Kulasic gonna try to set up a move on Curtis. Let's see if he can get him into turn three. No, he can't.
Oh, he had to back out of that one, but he might try again down to the heavens. Farina's on the inside of Broster.
Yep, here he goes. No yellow flags here. Ignore the marshal. Here goes Farina. He doesn't have him under the brakes, but he could get him on exit if he's good on the throttle, but he's not quick enough.
So now on the inside of the dams now then. Be careful you don't leave your braking too late. And he hasn't. Watson up to 10th.
Yep, indeed. The 2018 winner into the points. As Kulasic unfortunately drops out of them.
While the damaged cars have all now rejoined on the track, so it's Gillen, Graf and Burns with it all to do again.
Kulasic tried to make a move there, but he couldn't quite pull it off.
These dams is only hope now of trying to get points. The German fans are not going to be happy that both their home favourites have had damage in this race.
Yeah, Zorbach may still be in this race, well as is Graf, but they have a whole lot of work to do.
So, well, let's go back to this battle for fourth now then, with Broster still trying to fend off from championship leader Farina, and if they're not careful, it looks like they could get caught up very, very soon.
Yeah, so it appears. Luca Farina is getting good slips from after turn one. He might be able to go for the move. Let's see. No, he's staying put behind.
He's going to try into the hairpin again to see if he can try and get better traction. As
look at that, we had a little bit of a lock-up from Wojtek Kulasic.
As Suto's now going to try and pounce on him into turn two, trying to keep it late on the brakes, which he does do.
Yep, Sinonoma is behind them. He's gonna try to catch up as Farina is going for another look into the hairpin. Let's see if we can get him at Spitzkehre. This time, it's just a carbon copy of last time. He still can't. With the traction, Broster has the edge on him.
Indeed, and Broster's still able to keep in front. This has got to be obviously frustrating for Luca at the moment. As meantime, Nguyen starting to close back in onto Andrioli, who's trying his best to keep up with Proxiuk.
Yep, indeed. The only Prema still left in this race. He's going to try his best to hold on to his first podium.
Indeed. Through the hairpin now then goes Andrioli. 2.2 seconds back from Proxiuk at this point in time, as they now make their way into the last two corners of the track. Can they go and get a little bit close enough?
I think it's got that deficit by 3/10 since we last checked. It was 2.5 before. Let's see what it is now. Or let's not see. Anyway, Nguyen is very close.
Indeed, out of the first corner we go. He's not close enough to get the slipstream through into here, but all the
Watch Farina is going to go for it into turn one.
Gonna have a go into the first corner. Broster's
goes wide.
Farina wasn't able to capitalise. Where is Hamid in all of this? There
he's ahead. Yeah, indeed he is. And watch for Hamid is going for a move on Broster. I was going to say watch for Chobot, but Chobot can't do much at the moment.
Heading down towards the hairpin. Hamid's got a good chance to line up Broster for P4 here.
Yep, indeed. Into a hairpin, Broster had the same moment with Farina 2 laps in a row, but I think Hamid should be able to pass him a lot easier. Let's see.
See, side by side, got to pair them down towards the hairpin. Can Hamid keep it late on the brakes on the inside? Side by side, they go through the hairpin. And Hamid just a nose ahead, but can Broster get him back on the exit? Side by side they go.
Hamid's going to have to concede here, but he's not backing out. Looks like he's got him. But Broster has the inside.
Yes, he has.
Brilliant stuff. Fantastic effort from Mohamed Usman Hamid. He's gained 2 places as a result of this. Now Farina and Broster's battle is back on.
Farina looking to the inside of Broster, going to the stadium section. Ain't going to quite work. He's got to watch out for Chobot behind as well.
Yep, indeed. Chobot, though, can't really take much advantage into there. Sector 3 is quite hard to overtake. But now Nguyen is going for the move on Andrioli into turn 1. Let's see if we can get him.
On the inside, he's tried a few moves on here today. And
Andrioli goes very wide.
And Nguyen up to second.
Yeah, indeed. But that could be a disadvantage because Andrioli will stick close. You might be able to get him back into the hairpin as Farina's going for Broster yet again. Broster goes wide, and Farina has got him. But Chobot is going there too. Yeah, indeed. And watch for Patel behind. Patel's going to get Broster. Is he going to send out the pair them? Chobot is through. Patel is also through. Amazing.
Farina losing 2 places there in the space of a few corners. That was unbelievable stuff. Rahul Patel saw what was going on in front and went, thank you very much, I'm taking advantage of this. Obviously wasn't able to get Chobot, but he could still get him down into the hairpin. Both of them leaving their braking a bit late going into turn 2.
Yeah, indeed. And don't forget, Broster lost 3 places in all of this. So if you think Farina's had it rough, well, Broster's right behind, and he could lose yet another one because here comes Aaron Curtis. You know, Broster is slipstreaming Farina. Looks like Curtis is staying right there. He's staying put behind Farina. What's going to happen on the brakes?
Patel looking to the inside of Chobot. Is he going to get the move done into the hairpin? No, Chobot closing the door there. Broster unable to get
close
Farina
to contact
back
here, but Farina is in front this time.
Indeed. Now with Nguyen now up into second position after forcing the error on Andrioli a little bit earlier. Can he now try and go after Proxy?
Andrioli seemed to have a slight pace advantage over Proxy, so maybe, I think it could be possible.
To see as they make their way through the hairpin now then. Andrioli now starting to lose starting Nguyen, and I think Nguyen is starting to gain a bit now into Proxy. Whether he can get him or not is another question.
Well, the gap is 2.9, but we're going to need to watch for updates on it. It's 2.3. He is definitely gaining. Yeah,
so
indeed.
Nguyen is definitely getting on to Proxy at this point in time as this battle for 7th rages on.
Yeah, indeed. Broster is gonna give up thinking about passing Farina. He's gonna need to worry about keeping Aaron Curtis behind, who's going for the move.
On the inside, can the Irishman get through into the first corner? Can he force the arm Broster? He can. Down the inside he goes, and that's P8 for the Irishman, but look out for the guys behind.
It's the same mistake as the lap ago. Let's see if Watson can take advantage. No, he can't. He had a little look, but Broster was wise to cover him off.
He also dragged along Suto, Kulizek, and also Synonym as well, so keep an eye on those
indeed.
guys.
Broster has been great at defending in the hairpin, but let's see if Watson can get through on him.
On the inside, can Watson get the move done on the Brit as they go side by side, the two Brits heading down towards the hairpin, and Watson takes 9th with ease.
Yeah, indeed. No wonder he dominated here 2 years ago. This guy's quite quick here. Let's see how many more points he can grab as Broster jumps down to 10th. Synonym has got past Kulisec in the meantime.
He's got up to 12th position, but Kulizek may fancy his chances down at the Mercedes grandstand again, and it was at the same corner. Synonym just being that little bit late on the brakes compared to Kulizek, and 12th place was his.
Yeah, indeed. Good move, but Kulisec could take advantage and send it into the Mercedes-Benz. Let's see. He is close enough. He's going to need to be very bold on the brakes, though, and he doesn't think about it.
So he's going to have to hang back for the moment as they make their way through these sweeping corners now there. And
indeed.
So currently in 9th position, meantime, as they make their way through the right-hander.
Yes, indeed. Hamid might be under a little bit of pressure from the car behind him, that big Adam Chobot, but let's look at Ruslan Protic, who is definitely feeling some pressure from Juan Nguyen behind.
Let's
not forget,
is the gap.
These guys never raced each other before this season because Protic made his debut in 2019 and Nguyen left GP2 at the start of that season. But now they're racing each other, and for the win, as Suta is going for the move on Broster, he's made the same error again, but this time he hasn't lost position. Synonym could take it though. Yeah, let's see if he can get to him. Now he's braking very early. Thankfully, he didn't lose position to Kulisec, but that's not a good look. Yeah, indeed.
Chobot on the inside of Hamid now. Then can he grab P4 from the Indonesian? Can he get late on the brakes? Yes, he can. Up to P4 goes Chobot.
Good move again, and he's the same position he was at the Nürburgring, but watch for Hamid. He hasn't given up yet.
But he hasn't, as they make their way towards the flat-out right-hander. As meanwhile, Suto's up to 10th.
Yeah, since Broster had the points, but he has a very good traction. He might be able to go for it. Ran to here, though. Ran to Mercedes-Benz. No, not anymore.
Nope, as now through into the through past the Mercedes grandstand we go. And that really.
Yeah, indeed. Pernian down to 15th. He's gonna try to recover in this race. As now look at this fight. And Nguyen is getting very close.
Here.
He didn't try anything into 1. He's gonna say he's gonna wait and send it into turn 3 perhaps. Let's see. No.
But he's probably now going to wait to the hairpin, which is probably his best chance to try and get Proxy here. Down the straight we go.
Yep, indeed. Here goes Nguyen. Proxy led the first 11 laps. I don't think he might lead much longer because here comes Juan Nguyen.
By the time to go the pair of them now, there's a bit down towards the hairpin. He's going to be late on the brakes into this corner. Both low, but Proxy's just going to hold on for the moment.
That was surprising. Nguyen didn't seem that aggressive on the brakes, but Protsyuk has been able to remain in front. And I want to look his fuel load. He's fueled a lap lighter, and despite that, Nguyen has a pace advantage.
It looks like that during the pit stop stages, Nguyen will stay 1 lap later than what Protsyuk is doing. It's Quintino now on the inside of Kulazek for P13. Can the Brazilian get the job done? And he
It's
can.
close, but he's got him.
Indeed. And up into P13 he goes. Kulazek trying to get back on him if he can, as they're going to go side by side through into the right-hander, but Quintino shutting the door on him there.
You need to be up. You need to be alongside at least partially if you want to stick it there. If you're not, if you don't have that momentum, you're not gonna be able to get back in front. Let's see if Nguyen can take the lead into turn 1.
Oh.
No, Protsyuk makes no mistake, and Nguyen actually does. He's gonna lose time, and Andreoli is really getting a little closer. Andreoli is now closer to Nguyen than Nguyen is to Protsyuk.
But because the gap was quite big, Andreoli was not able to take full advantage of that, and ends up keeping all the second, doesn't it, Nguyen?
Yeah, indeed. And one look at Andreoli's fuel, he's fuel much higher than these guys. He's got a 3 lap deficit when it comes to fuel from Protsyuk, so he could go for an aggressive undercut. We'll see.
And towards the hairpin we go now then, and Protsyuk could be under pressure by both of these guys, not just Nguyen. And at the moment, 1.4 now the gap as a result of that defensive move he did at the first corner.
He's definitely not giving out that position easily. And Protsyuk doing a good job to hold on to this lead.
To the left-hander he goes out and past the Mercedes grandstand. And the Nguyen doing everything he can to close back in onto the Russian.
I really like that the gap between Protsyuk and Andreoli has been 2.5 for the seconds for the majority of this race. Meanwhile,
indeed, as they now make their way towards the stadium section of the circuit right now, and we're still a few laps away from the mandatory pit stop. I honestly think that this battle could have a few changes during the pit stop stages, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, absolutely. But like I said in the DTM race here a few days ago, you'd want to get that move done on track right there in the pit stops.
Nguyen, meanwhile, is now back within 0.5 seconds behind Protsyuk, so he could try again down into the hairpin that's coming up in a little bit.
Yeah, indeed. And don't forget that Nguyen didn't get past Andreoli at the hairpin. He couldn't get him somewhere else, and he might have a tough time to get Protsyuk, but we'll see. He's going for it nonetheless, and if he has that confidence on the brakes this time, it will net him the position, but let's see what happens.
Side by side go the pair of them. Can they go and get a little bit later on the brakes compared to Protsyuk? No, again, Protsyuk just able to be that little bit better on the brakes.
Yeah, watch this now. Pulisic going for a move. Ooh, touching with Quintino there, but he's got him.
I don't think there was contact there, but I think it was quite close.
Take a little look. He got past Broster and Sinonome as well. Yeah, Hento got from Broster into turn 1, but compromised his exit as well. And Pulisic made it a triple overtake.
Broster actually locked up there into the first corner, which allowed Sinonome to get through.
Sorry, a double overtake, not the triple one. My bad.
But look how close it was to contact. Luckily, there wasn't.
Yeah, incredibly tight action here. Quintino, I don't think he left him a lot of space, but look at this reaction to avoid collision.
Yeah, indeed. As now Perrin fantasy chancing on Broster. He's just dropping backwards all the time in this race.
Yeah, he's starting the second row and he's struggling a lot today, but he could be able to retake a position if he's pulling off on the brakes. As Quintino's going for it, but they're shutting the door. Broster around the outside. That was brilliant stuff.
Indeed, so clearly he's still got a little bit of life on those tyres, but yeah,
just want to interrupt you, Joe, for a second. Andrelli's getting closer to the leaders.
Is indeed, because those two are still scrapping around as Burns gets by on Skillen now into 17th position. So,
yeah, getting back to Broster, that was a brilliant move around the outside. Now Nguyen versus Broster into turn 1, part 3. What's going to happen here? Nguyen, with the same mistake again, it's getting Andreoli that much closer.
Andreoli again, they're not close enough to find a way through at this point in time, as it looks like the battle for 5th could be happening soon, as Patelli's getting close to Hamid.
Yeah, so it seems. Meanwhile, Watson is in P9, is dragging Suta behind him along. Sinonome is in P11, looks like he's managed to escape this train, but Broster is under pressure from Quintino now. Let's see if he can get him into 1.
Having a go on the inside, Broster goes wide, and that's going to allow Quintino and Perrin to get through. Maybe Perrin team can get by on Quintino, let's see.
He's going to need to be aggressive on the brakes, the Spaniard, but he's got him. And Alex Broster, once again making a mistake at turn 1. It's costing him a lot. Meanwhile, Patel can't get to Hamid on the brakes. It's the same thing we had with Nguyen and Protsyuk.
Indeed, as now Broster trying to get back at Quintino now for P14 as they're going to go side by side down towards the hairpin now then. Let's see if he can get the job done. On the inside later on the brakes, and that's P14 again for Broster.
Yep, indeed. Looks like Broster has aced the hairpin because he's got overtakes there on the inside and outside. But he struggles so much with turn 1.
Be that as well as now they head down to walk past the Mercedes grandstand. It's up to 1.6 now between Protsuk and Nguyen now, obviously because of what happened at turn 1.
Now it's down to 1.1.
But again, Andrioli just not getting close enough to take advantage of anything that happens at that corner. As Quintino and Broster still fight for 14th.
Broster shut the door there heading into Mobile 1, and it's possible to overtake there as Broster locks up, but by shutting the door he didn't give Quintino the opportunity.
Oh, definitely not. Into the final 2 turns we go now then on the racetrack.
Yep, indeed. Meanwhile, Wojciech looking a little bit lonely in P12 as Quintino's going for Broster into turn 1. Let's see if he can get him.
On the inside, could be the move here, but no, Broster able to avoid the bump this time by and hold on to the position.
Once again, he went all 4 wheels off the wide line and onto the curb, but this time he was able to hold on.
Indeed, as they now make their way through turns 2 and 3 now. Then Quintino, though, fancying his chances again.
Yeah, indeed. He should be able to get him, but let's see. This is the one corner of the track that Broster has aced, but let's see if Quintino can get the advantage here. On the brakes, no he can't.
As you said a little bit earlier, Broster definitely able to ace it coming into the corner there.
Yeah, I think the only person who was able to pass him into the corner itself was Henry Watzel.
There we go again.
This. Round 4, eh? Let's see if anyone can get him this time towards the first corner. Broster is going to defend. He's not shutting the door too much, though. But this time he's got him! That's incredible!
And the Nguyen finally takes the lead off of Proxy, and Andrioli is now close to the back of him.
Yeah, what a brilliant pass. I haven't seen anything like this entire race. Both these guys keeping on the track and legitimate overtake. Went very bold with it. Protsiuk unfortunately having to concede. But what great racing between the two of them.
Indeed, now can Andrioli...
Watch out, here comes Andrioli. He's getting a lot. He's going to send him on Protsiuk into turn 3. Protsiuk shutting the door. And Andrioli has not hit him.
No, he hasn't. Can he possibly get him down into the hairpin perhaps? And look at this, Chobot's not far behind either.
Yep, indeed, and Nguyen has lost a lot of time squabbling with Protsuk. He's going to need to pull away and use that pace advantage if he wants to hold on to the lead. As now Andrioli is going for second. Let's see if we can get him on the braking.
And into the hairpin we go. On the inside, has Andrioli got the place? Yes, he has. Up into P2 goes the Frenchman.
Yep, indeed. Andrioli has a fuel advantage over Nguyen, so it'll be interesting to see, but if he can get closer, maybe get him with an undercut, he holds off Protsuk for the time being to a right-hander, and to Mercedes, he's not thinking about sending it. Quite a bad lap for Ruslan Protsuk, I'm afraid. He's lost 2 places, and is under threat of losing yet another one.
Yep, because Chobot is now in the mix as well. He's looking to try and get a podium off the Russian if he can. As now they make their way through into the right-hander. We're only about a lap or so away from the mandatory pit stop stages, so it's going to be very interesting to see what will happen in play as Hamid and Rattel still fighting it out for P5.
Rattel?
Tell.
Well, anyway, Joe, I wanted to touch on something. Where exactly did Chobot start? Because I don't remember seeing him start in the top 10, but he's going to go for the move on Protsuk into turn 1.
And he didn't get the move done. I believe he started in P16, did Chobot, so he's actually gained 12 places.
Looks like he's doing a repeat of his Germany performance.
Look at this!
His other Germany performance, as Hamid goes extremely wide, he's lost 2 places. Could be a third one.
He's actually lost 3 places there. Can Farina also get by Patel into turn 2?
He can!
Back up into P5 goes the championship leader, but Patel's still trying to stick with him. It's not going to quite work out. As now here goes Chobot on Proxiuk.
Yep, indeed. Also, Henry Watzel has a pit call. Let's see if Chobot can go for third. Not quite yet, but on traction, maybe he could be able to get him. I don't think so, though. Patel, is defending the inside from Curtis, who's sending it nonetheless. Watch out, he doesn't hit Farina. He doesn't, and he takes the position.
Yeah, up into P6 goes Curtis, getting by Patel. As Hamid trying to get back on the Indian driver if he can. Patel's not finished yet with Curtis. Could he maybe try and dive it down into the Mercedes section? No. Curtis defends the inside, going into that corner. Chobot trying to go for an audacious move, going into the stadium section there, but didn't quite work out.
Nope, indeed. And Chobot starting 16th and is gunning for a podium place, and we're not even at the halfway stage of this race. That's a very impressive drive. As now Quintino is stuck behind Alex Prost, and look who's catching up. It's Zorbach. He's gonna overtake his teammates soon, even though he's already pitted for damage.
Quintino is also coming in this lap, same lap as Watzel, as some people in the top four are coming into the pits this lap as Proxy goes wide. Chobot on the inside, this could be his best chance. And
he's taking him.
He's through. Yes, he is. Chobot up into third place.
Protsuk did an incredible job holding off Nguyen initially, but after he cracked, he's been totally collapsing ever since. He's been losing position left, right, and center. Spittel's now going for it on Curtis. Ooh, so close to contact.
Watzel's in the pits meanwhile, so he's coming for the mandatory pit stop, and he'll soon be joined by Quintino as well. And
yeah,
Quintino,
but I just wanted to say, Joe, Protsuk's race has been falling apart ever since Nguyen overtook him.
It has indeed, and well, that's just unfortunate for him, as the two HWA cars are now scrapping it out as a result of Quintino. Zorbach trying to have a go at his struggling teammate Broster, heading down towards the hairpin now then. Will he get P13 from the Brit here?
It looks like, well, he's going to try for sure. He's pitting this lap anyhow.
Side by side go the two HWAs. Is this going to be the move for Zorbach? And on the inside, yes, he is. I'm surprised that Zorbach is actually pitting this lap, because obviously he did pit for damage, so clearly they didn't put quite a lot of fuel in the HWO, which is a bit strange, but there we are.
Yeah, indeed.
Really in.
Going for an interesting strategy, but Andrelli's now in. He might be able to get closer. He might be able to get closer to Nguyen with an early stop. Let's see. His fuel 4 laps lighter, so it'll be interesting.
To the box go both Andrioli and Chobot now then. Let's see how quick the stops are going to be for the pair of them. Also in the pits, I believe that's Luca Farino who's in the pits, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it is. The championship leader is in.
That's a very slow stop for Andrioli, 8.5 seconds.
Yep, and well, Chobot had a quicker stop there, but because he was too far away behind, he couldn't really do anything to get in front of him. But that's that.
Take a look at this. Perignon has got in front of Andrioli.
But Perignon, of course, does need to pit, but that's not really ideal for Andrioli if he wants to try and catch up to Nguyen. As now Burns is trying to put Broster under a lot of pressure. Broster is just really, really struggling at the moment. He's desperate to get off these tyres as quick as possible.
Yeah, indeed. He's behind Farina, who's already pitted.
Indeed, as now they make their way through the section of corners. You can just tell how much time Protsuk has lost to Nguyen since all the overtakes, because he now finds himself nearly 10 seconds beyond the Vietnamese driver.
Yeah, looks like his tires might have hit the cliff there.
Side by side now, then go Burns and Broster. Is Burns going to get the move done? The American on the inside, and that's P13 for the American.
Alex Broster's day is going from bad to worse, I'm afraid.
This is indeed a terrible day in the office for the HWA race lab driver. In fact, a terrible day for HWA all round, given that Zorbach got damage on lap 1 after taking out Valdinger.
Either way, Zorbach is having a strong recovery. He might be able to get some points still.
We'll see, of course, as they now make their way through the section of corners. Broster starting to lose time as Patel is now into the pits for Univirtuosi.
At the halfway point of this race.
So let's see where he comes out. Of course, he was for most of the race battling with Hamid before obviously all that happened, but he did get overtaken by Farina a little bit earlier, so he'll be looking to see if he can get back in front of Farina, given that Farina's already made his pit stop, and it is a 9-second stop. Not ideal, really, from the Univirtuosi mechanics.
Yeah, indeed.
And Farina long gone, in fact.
Yeah.
Looks
like the undercut. The undercut could be quite strong, so I wonder what this could mean for Santino Androli and Adam Chobot, if they could maybe get the jump on Nguyen.
And then meanwhile we joined 17th behind Graf, who obviously came in for damage earlier. So that's a mechanical problem I just saw there, I think, for Protsuk.
It's for Protsuk, yeah. It's a brake issue.
Protsuk has got a problem. He's got the pit symbol. Can he make it back to the pits? I think he was scheduled to pit this lap anyway, but now he's just got a mechanical failure to add to it.
Yeah. He's losing a lot of time as a result of this. He's already been passed by Curtis. Maybe Hamid might be able to get him soon as well. But he's coming in.
Indeed, as Curtis is coming into the pits. The guy just passed him, and he's slowing. Can he get it to the pits in time? He's going very slow.
He's pulling over. His race over for Ruslan Protsuk.
Car has given up before he even had a chance to go to the pits. Ruslan Protsuk is out here in Hockenheim.
Yeah, I'm afraid so. A terrible day. He looked very strong in the first 15 laps, but after Nguyen got him, it just went downhill fast. And Ruslan Protsuk is out.
Suto is now into the pits, so that's that really. And they're going still out on the track at the moment. Still hasn't made his mandatory pit stop just yet. Curtis finishes his pit stop, and he's going to be joined behind Burns, it looks like.
Yeah, Burns has already bid for damage, but he will have to bid again, of course. Don't forget, it's very Suto is also at the pits. It's going to be close to Dennis Graf. The Graf is yet the pit.
Yeah, indeed, as Graf is all over the back now of Suto. As Broster now finally gets off those tyres and he's now on fresh ones. Let's see what he can do on this set.
Yeah, indeed. Well, it can't get much worse, can it? It's now Dennis Graf is going for it.
Inside he goes then on Jersey Frederick Suto. This is going to be P13 for the German.
It is.
Yes, it is.
Good work.
Of course, he still needs to stop, of course, because he did take damage quite early on. So it is going to be a two-stop race for Graf.
Yes, indeed. 30 seconds is the gap between the leaders, and Nguyen and Androli. So keep an eye out for that once he makes his pit stop.
Oh, Brennan's got a problem.
Yeah, he's got a problem.
Got a brake issue as well, but can he make it?
No, it's a throttle problem.
He make it to the pit, so he was scheduled to pit this lap, and yes, he was. So he will get that problem repaired.
Yes, indeed. And Nguyen, meanwhile, has a pit call, but let's see what happened for Pernia and when did he get it?
Looks
like
guy
right here.
Grandstand.
Yeah, indeed.
And just past it.
Yeah, appears to be quite a race of attrition, I'm afraid.
But luckily, unlike Proxy, Perenin has come into the pits, so he will be able to get that repaired. And I think he was pitting this lap anyway, so kind of a blessing in disguise in a way.
Perhaps, but I don't think Androli was impeded too much. Meanwhile,
see how quick the start will be for Perenin, as the mechanical problem has sorted itself out, and should be on his way again.
We got Suto attacking Graf and losing a bunch of time due to turn one mistake, which should allow Sinonome to go through.
Side by side, and yep, Sinonome is through. The McLaren test driver up into P13.
Yep, good move. Pernian is back on track in front of Zorbach by a decent margin.
While the leader is coming in this lap after 22 laps on these tyres.
Yep, indeed. He should be able to still be in front of Santino Androli, but we'll see.
Hamid also coming into the pits this lap, so the top two in, but now into the pits comes the race leader.
Yes, indeed. Kulasec will inherit the lead temporarily until he'll make his pit stop.
Indeed, so let's see how
gap is 30 seconds. It'll be interesting to see.
So let's see how quick the stop will be then from the Carlin Mechanics as they put on a fresh set of tyres and a bit more fuel to get him to the end of the race. And let's see then, an 8.9 second stop. Decent stop there from the Nguyen. In fact, he could still be out in front of Kulazek. Let's see.
Yeah, he is.
In the pits. And yes, so he is still comfortably in the lead of the race. So unless something goes wrong for him, he looks like he's going to be untouchable today.
Yeah, so it seems. As Mohamed Usman Habib is into the pits as well. 21 laps of fuel. The 7.6 second stop. And he's on his way.
While into the pits now, we have, I believe that was Burns who just came into the pits for Sharood, so he's now in, as Hamid rejoined in P9, just in front of Henry Watzel.
Yep, indeed, but Watzel is under pressure from Graf, who's going for it. He can't pull it off, though. Meanwhile, Nguyen has about a 5-second advantage to Androli, 5.5.
Luzeki's coming into the pits this lap, by the way. I've just seen that on the indicator of Dennis Graf, so
right. He
is pitting this lap. Is Kulazek, so it'll be interesting to see where he comes out after his pit stop.
Well, it should be close to the edge of the points. I think it'll be in P12 or something like that.
Meanwhile, Chobot is on the back of Andrioli, meanwhile. Of course, both of them have already pitted, so it could be an interesting scrap for a legit P2 at the moment between Andrioli and Chobot.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting. Chobot's been sensational these first two races, and he wants to go two better than last time.
Indeed, and of course, Chobot skipped from BTC.
Oh, Watsel's out! What's happened to him? I think it's a suspension failure.
I have to see it is a suspension failure for Watzel, so another mechanical issue here at Hockenheim. So yeah,
the 2018 winner is out of this race as Chobot is going for the move on Androli. He can't pull it off.
Kulazek into the pits meanwhile, so he's currently being served. And I'm pretty sure once Kulazek finishes his pit stop, we'll have a look to see what happened with Watzel, as he's now being hoisted over the barriers. As Kulazek finishes his pit stop, where is he going to emerge? And he's out of the points, and I think he's going to be joining just comfortably in 12th head of Perin. And there's now Chobot fancies his chances of Andrioli.
It's his biggest shot yet. Let's see if he can go for it.
On the inside he goes. Can he get P2?
Yes, he can.
Yes, he can.
He's got 8. He's got 8-second gap on going, so let's see if we can chase him as Burns has overtaken Quintino on the exit of turn 1.
Indeed, but of course that was another retirement we saw a little bit earlier on with Henry Watsler, suspension failure taking care of the ART driver, and I think we're going to have a look to see where we got the issue.
Yeah, indeed. This is one hell of a race of attrition.
And let's see which suspension it was that broke on the car then. Let's have a look at all 4 tyres as it goes in slow motion. And it was... Which tyre was it that went up? It was... Well, the issue has happened. I can't see where it is.
I think it's the rear right.
Well, it does look a little bit wobbly on the rear. So yeah, I do believe it is the rear right that let go there. On Watzel, so that's another retirement in the points. And really still keeping with Chobot, but it'd be interesting to see if Chobot can now pull away after he's just overtaken the Frenchman.
Watch out for Quintino, it's gonna come back at Burns.
Now down the inside he goes now then. Can he grab the position of Burns? And he can. Up into P15 goes the Brazilian. And well, you have to say a very good recovery so far from Chobot. From 16th on the grid, he's now up into 2nd position.
Yeah, very, very much agreed with you there. And let's see if Brooks can get him back. He cannot.
Wonder if Chobot has the pace perhaps to try and match Nguyen. I'm not sure really, to be honest.
I think it could be possible, but Nguyen definitely gained a lot during the Chobot and Andreoli squabble. But he might be able to close in on him. If he can catch him or not, that is another question. But who knows really?
The banked hairpin we go. We can't see the gaps at the moment between the top 2, so...
Andreoli's already dropped a 1.5 seconds behind Chobot, meanwhile.
He has indeed. So Chobot now on a mission to see if he can try and gain onto Nguyen. Whether he's got the pace or not, it is another question.
Brunswick Quintino is back.
Yep, but Quintino able to hold on for the moment, and that could bring Broster into this.
Yeah, I think the Brit has finally decided to stop hemorrhaging places and is going to try to get them back in front of Burns.
So now out of turn 3 we go now then, as now Burns trying to get back at Quintino if he can, as they're going to go side by side down towards the hairpin. And at the same time, the pair of them trying to gain onto Zorbach at the same time, whilst also dragging Zorbach's teammate Broster with them. Down the inside goes Burns, and he retakes the place off of Quintino.
Yep, quite with ease.
Indeed, but all of this is allowing Broster to just try and see if he can gain a bit of an advantage on the pair of them now then. As Quintino trying to see if he can try and get back at Burns, but isn't able to, so he remains behind for the moment.
Yep, indeed. I want to take a look at the gap between the leaders, but first we need to look at Max Skinner's coming into the pits.
Skillen coming in, of course, he had damage a little bit earlier on, and so did Graf, so these two are back in for their second stop. So let's see how quick their stops are going to be between each other. Pit stop battle between High Tech and Dams in a way, but I think High Tech should be able to get back in front because they did have a gap coming into the pit stop.
But we'll see what's going to happen.
And
he'll be in front.
And yeah, he's behind. So
6.5 seconds stop. That was very quick for Graf though. Meanwhile, the gap between the leaders has gone up to 9 seconds.
And Nguyen able to respond at the moment to Chobot's pace at this point in time. 9.1 seconds the gap between Nguyen and Chobot at this point in time.
Don't forget, Chobot's tires are a little bit older. He pitted 4 laps prior to Nguyen. So that's one advantage for the Vietnamese driver.
As meanwhile, I think that's everybody now who's done all the pit stops they need to do. As we look now at the race leader Nguyen, let's see if he's able to continue to pull away from Chobot. Well, we won't do because we're going to have a bit of a lock-up here for Broster. So he's clearly pushing hard to try and get onto the guys behind.
Yeah, so it seems.
Now in towards the Mercedes grandstand area we go. And we've already, for a while now, we've got 14 laps to go. It's still roughly around about 9.1 there between Nguyen and Chobot, so you could say that both of them are lapping around about the same sort of pace right now.
Another gap I want to point out is Farina, because he appears to be closing in on Santino Andreoli, and the championship leader could be gunning for a second successive podium. We'll see.
It's down to 8.9 now, in fact, so Chobot taking 2 tenths out of Nguyen's lead that time by. So he's able to respond a little bit, but whether Nguyen can in these remaining 2, we'll have to see. But
well, if Chobot wants to win this race, he's going to need to make much more substantial gains, I'm afraid.
Indeed, because right now Nguyen comfortably in front of the moment. Skillen trying to have a go at Broster for P15, ain't going to work. Can Graf take advantage of this? Let's see.
That looks like he can. He wasn't able to get him in the pits, but no biggie, he gets him now.
Yep, up into P16, then goes Dennis Graff. So trying to see if he can try and get something out of his home race, because it has been a disastrous one for the home crowds. And Kulesek has got by Suto for P9.
Meanwhile, pretty much unseen by everyone, Henderson Onuma has climbed up all the way to P8, so good drive for the Japanese driver.
Does indeed. Good drive him so far. 8.8 the gap now between the Guin and Chobot at this point in time. As, well, we've got a Wild Marshall going out
Yeah,
there.
indeed.
In there. He's clearly got a bit of a death wish as that Marshall.
Nah,
Clearly
he just wanted to witness the amazing Jesus Perignon closer.
Maybe. Or maybe he was at the wrong Marshall post. So,
Yeah,
anyway.
perhaps.
Now, it's the Mercedes grandstand. Suto trying to keep up with Kulesek, but it looks like Kulesek is going to start to drop him, essentially.
Yeah, so it seems. Meanwhile, I wonder if Zorba could perhaps get closer to Perignon.
It's a Marshall period and not a steward. There is a difference.
Yeah. In any case, the gap is now 9 seconds, so it looks like it's stabilizing a little bit.
Yeah, it seems that the Guin seems to be stronger in the last sector compared to Chobot. So, if he keeps that up, then I think this could be Nguyen's to lose. But again, anything could happen in racing, and it usually does.
Yep.
And so, we now look at Skillen, who's in P17 and losing a hell of a lot of time to Graf, who's trying to get hold of Broster in front. And as mentioned, Graf just trying to see if he can try and gain anything out of what has been a disastrous second home GP. The first race was a disaster when he got taken out by Nguyen, and this one is turning out to be even more of a disaster.
Yeah, so it seems he looks like he got lose position to Skillen here after a mistake in turn 1. And Skillen gets right through.
Yep, so Skillen back up into P16 as a result. So these two are just going to keep swapping and changing every time they get close to Broster, it seems. And
yeah,
Graf going a
Broster
bit wide
stopped
there
making those errors in turn 1, so that's good for him.
Going continuing to pull away now. It's now up to 9.3 seconds between the top two. So it looks like.
Meanwhile, Farina is just 1.8 behind Andreoli, as Broster goes extremely slow into the hairpin.
Farina could still grab a podium out of this, which could give him a very healthy lead at the top of the championship at the moment.
Yeah, well, don't forget Chobot would close in on him a little bit, but yeah, Farina could be in for a very good result today.
Indeed, a very good first two races for the Italian, and a very good start to the season, it must be said for him.
Absolutely. Chobot will climb up to second place if it stays like this, I believe, but let's see if he can gain on Nguyen, and the gap is 9.5. He's going to need a miracle if he wants to win this race, but I think he'll be content with second, considering where he started.
P16, a great recovery from the Slovakian driver, as he said. Now it's under a second now between Andreoli and Farina, 0.8 to be exact.
And it's not just Farina who's closing. Take a look at Aaron Curtis. He's just under 2 seconds behind, and Patel is only 3 seconds further up the road.
Well, here is this battle for third that's going on here. So brief is now Skillen. Fantasy his chances on Broster.
Yeah, it's turn 3. He might be able to get him this time.
Side by side they go. They're coming out the corner. Can he get him around the outside into turn 3? He's trying to keep hold of it. They're going to continue to go side by side. It's going to allow Graf to get by now, but Graf thinks better of it. Looked like Skillen was going to chop across him there.
Yeah, by the way, I referred to the right-hander as turn 3 because apparently the flat-out kink right after turn 1 is classed as a corner. So yeah, as Graf is going for the move on Skillen, very nicely done.
Over to P16 goes the German. I believe it's 300%, Sam, the damage physics are. So it is across all the tiers. So anyway, as okay, 250 for DTM, but still quite high. So anyway, as well, back to this battle for 15th that's going on.
Yep, indeed. Broster has been able to keep these guys behind with relative ease, but I'm not sure how much longer he'll be able to do so.
Indeed, as they now are going to approach the final few turns on the racetrack. And meanwhile, I'm just trying to see what's going on in the battle for third. It should come up on the next little slider that's coming on very, very soon. As meanwhile, seems to be a battle for top going on. As Graf is on the inside of Broster. Is he going to get the position? Side by side, not quite.
Broster went very wide. Yes, Gunn's got it.
Indeed, so he's up into 16th position. Now, meanwhile, Byrne attacking Broster. It's Zorba. P12. Yeah, Zorba now on the inside, and that's P12 for the American.
Yeah, it appears Zorba can't charge after the points, but Max Gunn could charge after Bros. Let's see if we can get him this time.
And the inside he goes, and that's P15 for the Scot.
He's finally cleared him.
Now can Graf do the same and clear him as well? We'll have to wait and see. They now make their way towards flat cars. Now here goes the battle for third.
Yep, indeed, Farina very aggressive right from the get-go, but he's slowing down. This allows Curtis to squeeze right through.
The inside goes the Irishman. This is going to be P4 for the Trident driver on the inside. And
It
yes,
is.
it is. Up to P4 he goes. And look behind as well. Patel's not far behind from this battle
Farina's
as well.
slowing down even further.
Indeed, and now Patel could close in as well as the battle for 8th is going on at the moment between Synonym and Kulazek.
Yeah. Let's see if Wojtek can get through on him.
Let's see if he's close enough. I'm not sure. He's in the slipstream, but is it enough for him to try and make a move into the hairpin? In the slipstream now goes the Czech driver. He's in the slipstream. He's going to go to the inside. Synonym defends it. Kulazek trying to pop his nose on the inside. Oh my word!
How did they not crash there? They went through each other, but thankfully there was no hitbox there.
Yeah, thankfully indeed. Meanwhile, behind them, Perillan is starting to close in on Suto for 10th position, so the Spaniard could still nab a point out of this today.
Meanwhile, Jolie is 10 seconds exactly behind Chobot.
Yep, and he's still got Curtis and Farina chasing him down, and even Patel soon as well.
Yep, indeed.
Now down towards Mercedes area we go now then, as Orbach losing time now to Burns as he's trying to chase down Perinen, who is trying to chase down in front Suto for the final point places. Back to this battle for third we go.
Yep, indeed. Curtis is going to have the chance to send it on his former team into turn 3. And on the exit, in 4 he won't be able to.
No, he won't, as there is Farina who's trying to get back at him if he can. Meanwhile,
he's gained a lot.
On the inside of Synonym, but isn't quite able to do so.
Nope. Meanwhile, Nguyen's lead has gone up to almost 11 seconds. As now look at this, Curtis is going for the inside. Farina's staying to the outside. What's going to happen here? Curtis is going to take the place. Yeah, he's up on the podium.
Can Farina also get by as well? No, but Curtis is now up into the podium places.
Watch for Kulazek, he's going for it again. Siroma closing the door again. And defending quite well.
Yep, keeping on of 8 for this moment in time, as Curtis had to do a little bit of defending there going into the Mercedes grandstand. As,
I think this is a key opportunity for Curtis. If he can pull away, he might have the podium secured because Androli doesn't seem to have the pace to respond to these guys.
Indeed, although Curtis started to do a little bit of defending there going down into the stadium section, so it seems that Androli's still got some pace there. It's just the guys around him are just equal to him at the moment.
Yeah, it doesn't appear to want to give up. Meanwhile, Chobot has lost a further half second, so if he wants to go for the win, he's going to need to hope for a miracle. As now Curtis doesn't appear he's able to shake off Androli, but he won't be friendly into turn 1.
As it looks like he's got a bit of a gap now to the Frenchman, as now Farina fancies his chances on the Frenchman as well, but he's not close enough to possibly get him into turn 2 for now, as now Kulazek again trying to have a go at Synonym for P8 and not able to get the move.
He's lost a heap of time there. It's going to put him prey. Berinian behind.
Indeed, as we now made the way through the section of course, Patel now is on the back of Farina.
If you can get him now, that'll be big. Let's see if he can pull it off.
On the inside he goes, and he has done it. Up into P5 he goes.
Great stuff. But can Farina answer back?
Gonna go side by side going into that corner now then, as meanwhile Suto on the inside of Kulazek. Kulazek's lost a lot of time, and up into P9 goes the Slovakian.
Yep, indeed. The Czechman is going to try to find him back, but it's looking a little tricky. And Farina could be closing in a lot on these guys.
Yep, indeed. We'll have to wait and see on that as they make their way through the stadium section.
And Jolie being here to impede these guys is helping Anchors quite a lot if he wants to hold on to the podium. As now Kulasic is going to try to go for it into Mobile 1. No way he was going to make that work.
He just couldn't seem to get it done, really. As now into the banked corner now, then we go. And now into the section of course, as we now look at Patel, who is
under a heap of pressure. Farina's all over his gearbox and he's not pulling out the slipstream to make the move.
The inside goes Farina, and he's got P5 back off the Indian.
Yep, it's back on the menu as Sura goes very wide. He's going to lose both places here.
Kulizek and Perinin get by. Perinin tried to have a go at Kulizek there, but Kulizek thought better of it. Obviously, these two came from BTCC as well, so these two know each other quite well. Although on that occasion there, it looked like Perinin didn't have the best of entrances going into turn 2 there. But Suto, I'm not sure if he's able to capitalise though.
I don't think he's close enough.
So he is in the slipstream. Let's see. He's in the slipstream of the Spaniard. He's going to try.
He's going to send it.
Not able to.
Close enough, but not close enough at the same time.
So that's that really. It's meanwhile, Farina still trying his best to get out of Andrioli, judging from the gaps. As Chobot is looking very quiet in second place at the moment. Same with the leader up in front, who is the gap between the two of them now is 12 seconds exactly.
It keeps growing. And Chobot was very quick in the first stint, but having pitted early and gone for the undercut, it's cost him massive in the second stint. He doesn't have the pace to contend with a Gwen anymore. He's on older tires, and it shows. Tsunonoma appears to be struggling for grip a little bit.
Well, luckily for him, because of the battle that was happening behind, he hasn't lost a place as he's trying to get hold of Hamid now.
Yeah, indeed. Hamid has done a lot of defending this race, but I'm not sure if he can keep Tsunonoma behind. The Japanese driver will have to make some inroads, though. As Farina is making inroads on Androli, he's going to try to overtake him. If he can get him now, he'll have 5 laps to go after Curtis, but let's see if he can get him towards the hairpin turn 6.
The inside goes the championship leader, and I think he's already got the move done, and yes, he has. Up into P4 goes Farina.
Yep, indeed. Now it's up to him to see if he can chase down Aaron Curtis. It's easier said than done.
Yeah, indeed. Andrioli trying to get back at him there, but it's to no avail. And now will Patel try and go after Andrioli?
I think Patel can't beat Farina anymore, so he's going to have to settle for P5. But to do that, he's going to have to pass Andrioli. He's got 5 laps to go for our race leader.
Now we've got to keep an eye on this gap now between Curtis and Farina, although Farina did have to go defensive into the stadium section, like Curtis did earlier with Santino Andrioli. So I think Andrioli's still sticking with him for the moment, but let's see out of these corners where Farina will do the same as what Curtis did and try and pull away a bit from the Frenchman.
I have to give him credit, though. Even though he has space disadvantage, he shows no sign of wanting to give up.
And now he's starting to lose time to Farina, so now he may have his mirrors full of Rahul Patel behind in the Univirtuosi.
Yeah, looks like these guys will have to deal with battling each other till the end of the race.
Absolutely, as now through into the...
Farina's lost another 6/10 of a second to Curtis.
Might be because he was defending a bit from Andrioli, but now he's not. Let's see if he can try and gain the time back. As now, Patel in the slipstream of Andrioli. I'm not sure if he's close enough this time around to get him, but maybe on the next lap he could try. Let's see. He goes to the outside.
He's going to send it here.
The inside. No.
Can't pull it off.
Thought he was going to try and do the old switcheroo there, but wasn't
Gun
quite
goes
wide.
wide.
Skilling goes wide. Can Graf go through?
These guys have been battling for quite a long time, but Graf is going to go ahead, I think.
Over to P15 goes Dennis Graf. Probably the pair of them just fed up with each other. Patel there tried to have a go at Andrioli at a corner you wouldn't expect an overtake, but wasn't able to do so and had to back out of it as a result.
4 laps to go.
In towards the right-hander now then.
Farina's pulling away. Clearly, there's no way Patel can get any better than P5. But to get that P5, he needs to get through on Andrioli.
Indeed, he did lose a bit of time after he had to back out going into the stadium, into the Mercedes grandstand area. So that's that. But to be fair, though, he has gained 7 places, and Synonome's gained 13 places, with Chobot obviously the biggest one with 14 places. So
yeah, indeed. Synonome from the back row up into P8. Great effort from him. He's going to get his first points. And Chobot, I think, the star of today, from 16th to 2nd. He did even better than his comeback at the Nürburgring.
Good point out as well, Carlin haven't even scored a point yet this season. They didn't even finish in the last race at the Nürburgring. So, so far, 1st and 8th, pretty good for Carlin so far.
And that's it, Stan. It looks like Evertroids are going to keep their streak that they started last season of always finishing the points. They have never not had a car score points ever since the team was founded. Looks like that streak is going to keep going.
Sorry about that, I had to chat with someone. But anyway,
Alright.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bertrozzi, I think, is the most consistent team of them all, as we got 3 laps to go.
Indeed, as Patel's getting right back onto the prowl of Andrioli. 3 laps to go, though, for Hoang Minh Nguyen. I'm just trying to remember if he's ever won a race in GP2.
He has one at Catalonia, I believe, in 2018.
Okay, so This would be
Or
second
no,
one there.
was it 2017 or 2018 when he won it? I'm not
I'm
quite
gonna
sure
have a check.
myself.
I'm gonna have a check.
All right, thanks, Joe.
So it was in 2017 at Catalonia where he took his last win.
Right. Anyway, here goes Patel. He's gonna go right for the attack on Andreoli.
See if he can get the move done into the first corner. Can he force the error on Andreoli? No, he can't. He's gonna have to hang
And into
back
the
for the
flat-out
moment.
kink of turn 2, he wasn't close enough to take advantage. I don't think he'll be close enough at the hairpin either, but we'll see.
Turn 2 and 3 we go now then. And
With
Patel,
that said, though,
his best
Andreoli had a
chance.
pretty bad run into 3 and 4, so
Could be
we could have a big shot
be-
here.
Patel's best chance here as he's going onto the inside of the Frenchman now, then heading down towards Herring. Past the parabolica we go. Hamid's not far behind from these two, but Patel now on the inside. Can he get the place? Side by side?
No, he can't, not yet, but on exit he might be able to with better traction if he can get it. He can't
Side by
get it.
side. Oh, so Andreoli's just going to hold on for the moment and hold on to 5th position at this point in time.
Andreoli has been quick in the first stint, but just struggling in the second one, as we got 2 laps to go in this race. Hamid could join this battle soon.
Yeah, absolutely. As Patel now then, looking towards the right-hander now then.
I think Patel has been made very aware he needs to get Andreoli now. If he goes for the turn 1 move on the last lap, he could fall prey to Mohamed Usman Hamid, so Patel will need to get past him as quick as he can.
Indeed, Hamid trying to look at any opportunity that could present itself if Patel cannot get by on Andreoli at this point
And
in time.
don't forget, it's not just Hamid, Sinonome is also getting on these guys. But let's see if Patel can go for it into turn 1.
Having a go. And
he failed.
Not able to do it. Here comes Hamid.
He's gonna get him.
On the inside, and that's P6 for the Indonesian.
Yes,
While behind,
indeed.
that's Kulizek having a go at Sinonome for P8 now then.
Let's see if he can send it on him. He can't quite.
Able to hold on. That could bring Praveen into this, but Patel not finished with Hamid just yet. He's going to try and see if he can get 6th place back off the Indonesian.
He's not giving up on that P5, but to do that first, he needs to get back past Hamid. And if he can get them on the brakes now.
On the inside, and no, he had to back out of that one.
Oh my. He braked extremely violently there, almost coming to a complete stop. Look at that,
Yeah,
21
indeed.
kilometers an hour.
He was dragging a lorry through that corner. But
You
anyway,
don't even slow down that much even at Monaco. As Pulisic unable to get past Sinonome, but Berian is keeping close to both of them as you're on to the final lap.
The final lap for Nguyen here at Hockenheim. As this battle for P8 rages on, as Kulizek might be having a lock up here. And, well,
not too big, but the battle for the last points place is going to rage on. Look at this. Carl Burns is also getting close to these guys.
yeah, absolutely. As they now...
Don't forget, Burns had to pit for damage.
yeah, indeed. So a brilliant comeback for him. But for Nguyen, it's just been a perfect race for him.
Looks like he could be lapping Alex Broster if the race was a few laps longer. Meanwhile, Hamid, he's going to go for Andreoli. And let's see if he can get him and get up into P5.
Caught him up quite quickly, hasn't he? I'm a bit surprised by that.
Yeah, indeed, he has very strong pace. Andreoli has been incredibly weak in the second stint. I will give him credit. He's had a good race, but let's see if he can hold on to 5th. He's trying the door quite aggressively. Hamid can't find a way through. As Bernard is going for the move on Pulisic. He's got him.
He's through. He's up into P9. Can he also get Sinonome at the same time? As now Graf on the inside of Quintino. The checkered flag man is already out because it's waiting for Nguyen, who's just gone around the bank corner.
It's only a few corners to go. And for Hamin Nguyen, Farina won his first race on his comeback. Hamin Nguyen is going to win his second race on his comeback. And coming through to finish, Hamin Nguyen wins the Baden-Württemberg Grand Prix.
Indeed, congratulations to him. His second GP2 win as a result. As I believe Suto might have got Kulizek for P10 here.
Yeah, let's look at it.
On the inside, going into the hairpin, as he broke that a little bit later than the Czech driver. No, Kulizek might be able to just hold on for the moment in time.
Yeah, that was very close. But look at this, Hamid had a look at Andreoli, but the Frenchman covered it off nicely. Holds on to P5 against all odds.
Very close to contact between the pair as that battle continues on. And, well, it looks like that might have been the last chance for them to try and pick up some more positions. But Nguyen is the winner. Here comes Chobot now then, who's going to finish in second.
What a brilliant drive. Didn't have the steam to get up close to Nguyen, but he had a lot of steam anyway to finish second. And Curtis also got to give him some credit. After a pretty bad 2019, he's going to be back on the podium here with his new team Trident.
Indeed, so P3 for Curtis. As here is Farina now. Then he's going to pick up P4. Some healthy points for him in the championship, that's for sure.
Yep, indeed. Chobot will be the only one to get closer to him, as now Hamid and Anjoli are going to go racing to the line, but Anjoli's got him. He's going to finish P5, with Patel coming in P7 behind Hamid. Sinome, meanwhile, is going to hold on to P8, having started on the back row. Great drive. Ferdinand P9 with Kulasic P10. Then we have the Charuzes missing out on the points.
2-11 from Burns.
Oh, crash!
There's been a crash.
Suto has crashed with Kulasic.
He's collected the back of Kulasic there. Clearly went a bit too quick there. Wasn't expecting Kulasic to be that slow and ended up tagging wheels. They both lost a wheel as a result.
Yep, indeed. Quite a bizarre crash, but we've seen stuff like that happen before, just now in Hockenheim. Zorbach finishes an unlucky P13. Not a good day for him, I'm afraid. He had an okay recovery in the first stint, but he couldn't amount to anything more than 13th. Skillen only P16.
Well.
Yeah, Alex Broster. I think this is a worst. I think this is a race you want to forget in a hurry. Having started in P3, only finishes P17. I think he'll just want to get on his plane ticket home to Britain as quick as he can.
He did say on Discord as well that he's had some very bad luck when it comes to the German races, and it seems like it's continued here at Hockenheim.
Yeah, so it seems. But someone who hasn't had bad luck today is Juan Nguyen. After taking out Graf quite aggressively at turn 3 at the Nürburgring, he's made amends for it and won it in style today.
Indeed, a very deserved win for Hoang Min Nguyen, as
he was gunning for the lead at the Nürburgring and crashed himself out doing it. This time he's gunned for the lead and taken it convincingly. What a great drive from Nguyen. I think he's earned himself the German redemption.
Anyway, here's the final results.
Yep, indeed. Juan Min Nguyen is victorious today. His second ever GP2 win, and what a perfect way to do it. Just 2 races after returning to the tier. Adam Chobot is in P2, picking up his first and Hightech's first podium in only their second race together. Aaron Curtis, he's back on the podium. He's finished P3 for Trident. Luca Farina, the championship leader, still holding onto it with P4. Santino Anjoli had a very strong first stint. In the second stint, he dropped off, but he was still able to hold on to 5th. Great drive from the French. Mohamed Usman Hamid, the man who was second in the championship, finishes P6 today. Good drive. Rahul Patel gained some places. He looked like he might have a shot for 4th, and in the end, he only finishes 7th. Hento Sinonome, having started on the back row, finishes P8. Very solid drive from the Carlin man. Jesus Pernian finishes P9 for Virtuosi. Both Virtuosis continues their streak of always scoring with at least one car. As Vojta Kulasic finishes P10. With behind him, Joseph Frederick Suto, who took him out after the flag.
It's Carl Burns, his teammate in P12. Nicolas Zorbach with a home race to forget in 13th. Same with Dennis Graf in 14th. Gabriel Quintino 15th, with Max Gillen in 16th. And Alex Broster, a race to forget, the last finisher in 17th. With Henry Watzel, Ruslan Protsiu, Joel Watterson, Lorenzo Tomaselli, and Bent Valdinger being the 5 retirements here today.
Yep, indeed. A great race for some and a horrible race for others. But we have to take a look at the fastest lap, and it has gone to Adam Chobot.
Yep, so Chobot gets the 2 bonus points for the fastest lap of the race there. So pretty impressive stuff.
Yep, indeed. He's going to get close to Farina in the championship, but Farina will continue to lead, of course. Now then, it's time to honor the race winner. Zandvoort was supposed to replace Hanoi. Zandvoort got replaced by Hockenheim for the top class, of course. But since it was supposed to replace Hanoi in the top class, it's going to come full circle because a Vietnamese driver has won here today at Hockenheim. So, yeah, it's time to play in his honor the Vietnamese national anthem. All right, thank you guys. And yeah, what did you think of that race, Joe? Was it all right?
Yeah, very entertaining race, it must be said. And obviously, uh, overtakes all around. A few crashes here and there, but as expected, Hockenheim producing a good race like we expected it to be.
Yep, indeed. It was a replacement that came in late, but it was definitely a good replacement. And yep, like I said before, we were supposed to have Vietnam in the top class. Obviously, we couldn't because it's not on GP4. So Vietnam was replaced by the Netherlands, who were replaced by Germany. And who is in Germany? A Vietnamese driver. It's come full circle here.
Oh, Portimao replaced Hanoi. Sorry to spoil the fun there, but
Yeah,
that's what
sorry
that
to be a
whole
little pedantic, but you know.
that's what that whole reveal video was about. Which I had a bit of
Yeah.
fun with the editing on that one. But
Well,
anyway,
in any case, Nguyen has won today, so well, great job. It's quite nice to see that the two guys who have won so far are both returnees, eh?
indeed, definitely. I have to ask you this, Rob. Who is your driver of the day?
Well, I was gonna ask first, but I think the suspect is obvious. After he pulled an incredible drive at Nürburgring to come back from quite back, and he's done it again, even better this time. It's going to about Adam Chobot for me.
Same here. From 16th to second, a brilliant drive.
You'd think he wouldn't be able to do any better than his Nürburgring comeback, but he's done it again. The Slovak has done incredibly well in Germany, and he's up into second in the championship. Great effort.
Indeed, definitely. Can he perhaps get a victory next time out next week? We'll have to find out, of course.
Well, we'll see. But Flo, I want to hear your opinion.
Yeah, it's Adam Chobot for me as well.
All right, so a clean sweep there for the Slovak.
Yeah,
Well,
indeed.
I think this was a very entertaining race. What'd you say was your favorite overtake in it, Joe?
Probably, well, there was a few actually. I'd probably say Brewster's one around the outside at the hairpin there. A bit unexpected, to be honest, even though he had
Yeah,
dead tyres.
yep. I think the one I'm gonna go for actually is going to be. It is about Broster, but it's not him who did the overtake. It's him who got overtaken. An entire ding dong battle between himself and Muhammad Usman Hamid, with the Indonesian hanging around side by side with him and getting him at the Mercedes Benz in the end. That was quite entertaining.
Indeed.
Well, that's been it from us today. Thank you very much for joining us, guys. Thank you for observing the minute silence for Sir Frank Williams, of course. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the race, and we'll see you again next time out in Portugal. Ludo Corby won their last season, but of course he's not here anymore, so we're going to get a new winner at Portimao. But who's it going to be? Until then, I've been Robert.
I've been Joe.
And this has been the GP2 race. We'll see you again next time, guys, and stay awesome.
Bye.